Wow, this is hilarious. Trump wants to delay his trial until after the elections in the hopes of winning the presidency and being able to avoid it all by claiming that he's a sitting president and he can't be charged for anything.
Attorneys for former President Donald Trump are asking a judge to hold off on setting a trial date in the case involving his handling of classified documents. Now, paperwork filed late last night says that they'd like to wait possibly until after the 2024 election. Trump's team argues holding the trial during the race would, quote, create extraordinary challenges. And it's not clear when there will be a ruling.
Yeah, a lot of people, when facing uh, court or whatever, has a lot of challenges they have to deal with, trying to find time off work, you know, if they have kids, trying to find people to sit for their kids or whatever. So what makes Trump special that just because he has, personal life stuff to deal with, that he can't go to court? No, you're not special, dude. You're going to court.
This morning, the judge did agree to Trump aide and co-defendant Walt Nauda's request to delay this Friday's hearing until Tuesday, July 18th.
Yeah, we need to stop giving these people like special treatment just because uh they were a part of some position in the government. They're not special. They're citizens just like everybody else. Uh, if justice is supposed to be blind, then these people shouldn't be receiving special treatment.
CBS News legal contributor Rebecca Roife is joining me now for some analysis. So, Rebecca, what are some of the main reasons Trump's legal team is arguing for the trial to be postponed? Because that's quite a long postponement.
Yes, Anne Marie, it is. It's an indefinite postponement, which is itself somewhat unusual. The former president's lawyers are suggesting, first of all, that there are extremely complex and novel legal issues that need to be determined. Secondly, they say the discovery will be time consuming. And finally, as you noted, they talk about the unprecedented nature of this prosecution and the fact that the former president will be wrapped up with campaign obligations, making it difficult to attend to the complexity of a trial.
It is so funny how Trump thinks that just because he's running for president, that means the courts can't charge him. He's all wrapped up in this idea that like being president or running for president, you get all these like extra protections and powers, and that's not even the case. Uh, you're a regular citizen now, Trump, so you're going to be treated like a regular citizen. It's it's just ridiculous that just because he's a former president, that he should be treated special. Again, if justice is blind, these people wouldn't be treated special. We do have a two-tier justice system.
So, as we know, because we've seen Trump's legal team in action before, delay is a tactic that we often see them implement. That being said, you talk about discovery. The federal government has submitted, it's really sort of mind boggling the number of records 428,000 records, more than 305,000 documents. The government has a large department to go through all this stuff. I don't imagine Trump's legal team can rival that. Is there a point that, it's going to take a while to go through all of this stuff? Is there a valid point?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And one of their arguments is that the sheer volume of the discovery makes it time consuming. And in addition to that, there are these classified documents that are involved. The federal government has act legislation that governs how these sorts of documents are supposed to be handled during a criminal prosecution. In some ways, that makes it easier to go forward, but it also does create a cause for defendants to claim that they need more time, and thus a basis for this kind of delay tactic that you mentioned that the former president does try to use, and all defendants often try to use it in a criminal trial.
Another thing that the Trump team has been citing is how difficult it might be during a presidential election year to select an unbiased jury in the case. Now, there have been high-profile cases before, and
Well, yeah, in this type of situation, you're not going to be able to find someone that is unbiased, so there's nothing you can do about that. You just got to select a jury.
You know, you don't have to be living under a rock to be on a jury for a high profile case. But this is a period of time where these candidates are out front asking us to pass judgment on them. They're trying to win us over. This is a little more complicated than a high profile case. How do you screen out potential biased jurors?
It is extremely complicated. And as you say, the system is used to this, high profile cases, and we expect that juries are capable of putting aside these other considerations to consider the facts and the law in an unbiased, impartial kind of way. Yet, as you say, the degree to which there is pressure on this process at this moment is significant. And what the judge decides to do about that is an interesting question because, of course, if this gets delayed past the election, there are additional complications that come. Can one, let's say the former president wins this election, can one pursue a criminal prosecution against a sitting president? And
Yep, and there we go. That is why Trump wants the trial to be delayed until after the election, because, yeah, then how is the government going to continue with the trial now that he's a sitting president, and sitting presidents are immune from prosecution during that time?
if he does not, will one of the other candidates, whoever does win the election, issue a pardon or stop this prosecution? And those are questions that loom around the edges. They won't determine the answer to this particular motion or any of the motions, but they are important questions that linger around this case.
Indeed.